do this later.
Okay. All right, good evening. I call to order the meeting of the Hamilton Wenham Regional School Committee on Thursday, April 14th, 2026 at 7 p.m. I want to remind everyone that this meeting is being recorded and live streamed. And first up, we have an opportunity for citizens' comments. I'm going to just give Eric a moment to, the Zoom is up? Okay. It doesn't look like anyone on Zoom is ready to offer a citizen's comment, is that right?
Correct. No one here yet.
I mean, is there anyone in the room that's interested in a comment? Because if not, I'm not going to subject you all to my thoughts about citizens' comments. Okay. All right. Seeing none, we will go ahead and close citizens' comments.
Closing now.
All right. Next up, I did not print it, but would someone be willing to read number 9 from our school committee protocols?
Sure.
Thank you, Amy.
As elected members of the Hamilton Wenham Regional School Committee, we, including the superintendent, accept the high honor and trust that has been placed in us to ensure that the students of the district receive the best education possible. To that end, we hereby commit to the following in the conduct of our business. Should say number 7. 9, sorry. All members will maintain the confidentiality of privileged information and will respect the open meeting law.
Thank you. And now, Julia, would you read a portion of the mission statement?
The Hamilton Wenham Regional.
Oh, you should be, I think you're on.
Okay.
Oh,
The Hamilton Wenham Regional School District School Committee's mission is to ensure our schools create graduates with a passion for lifelong learning together with the critical skills needed to maximize their potential. The Hamilton Wenham Regional School Committee will lead and inspire a district that attracts and retains high-quality educators by acknowledging and respecting their expertise and professionalism.
Thank you. All right, next up is to you, Eric, for a superintendent report.
Great, thank you. A few things on the agenda tonight. I wanted to talk a little bit about the state revenues. We get state revenue reports from the Mars Group, Mass Association of Regional School Districts. FY26 year-to-date collections are at $30.6 billion, which is about $980 million or 3% more than actuals from last fiscal year, so that's a good sign. And it's $653 million, or I think it's 2.2% above the year-to-date benchmark. The budget, as you know, is in process now. The governor had released her budget a couple months ago. It's in Ways and Means right now. They're looking at a number of things, including amendments for surplus funds. Last year, we were eligible for some surplus funds. The problem that we have is they came, I think, on June 28th, when we closed the budget on June 30th, so there's no room to spend any of the surplus funds. So there are a number of amendments that are should come to fruition for surplus funds, including transportation, special ed circuit breaker, and monies attached to the Student Opportunities Act, which in the current budget is set at $150 per student. In the FY27 governor's budget, she dropped it to $75 per student, which basically washes away the work that we've done with the Student Opportunity Act for the last 7 years. So the Ways and Means is working on surplus funding now. House and the Senate will get their budget versions together and move those forward. Both have been in heavy conversation with superintendents around the state. They've been at town meetings. They've been out and listening and understanding what's happening with the budget. So I think we'll see some positive numbers come out of some of the budgets, including opportunities to bump up some of our SOA monies and circuit breaker and regional transportation, because they're not fully funded again in the current governor's version. So we'll hope to see that change. Right now, I think our regional transportation's funded at 61%. It's supposed to be 75% of the total. So we're hoping to get the balance of that at some point. Other things that are out there include some of the opportunities for amendments to be put into the budget. So in conversations with our reps and our senator, we have been able to push and make the claim to try to get these amendments both put in the surplus, but also in the FY27 state budget, so that these things can be fully funded by the time the budget process is complete. So that's our goal. We're continuing to work towards that, and in speaking with the legislators, they understand the issues. They are pushing hard to try to figure out how to make things work. Also looking at opportunities to look at the realities of what towns are facing, not only on the school district side, but also on the town side. I mean, I think I said at both town meetings that the towns of Hamilton and Wenham, unrestricted government aid was 1.1%. And when your aid is $600,000, that's not enough money when you need a police officer and, $100,000 in trash service increase. So I'll keep you updated on that. There are things seem to be moving forward and moving positively. I also wanted to give an update on the strategic planning. In strategic planning, we have had 5 meetings and have gone through the process, starting all the way back with the current strategic plan. We've reviewed it, looked at the things that we did, what we didn't complete, and really determined a path forward based on that. Took all the things that we didn't complete, weighed their options to see whether we should keep them in the process or not. Then we started looking at hundreds of documents related to the district, budget documents, documents about curriculum, instruction, anything we could find that we could give to these committees, and started to do create the conversations around what this plan looks like, what our focus areas are, and then how to define those focus areas. So right now, as an example, one of our focus areas in the strategic plan is teaching and learning. And for us, we're looking at what's the next evolution of that. So when we start to look at focus, and so you'll see a change in that. So we've started to nail down the actual focus areas. We're going to have 4 focus areas again. Last meeting, we spent almost 90% of the meeting working the group through a carousel process of defining the focus areas based on information that they have generated over the last 4 meetings previous to this one. So the process is going well. We had to add another meeting. We were supposed to have our last meeting the end of April, but we're going to need another meeting just to get our initiative sorted out. That's kind of a bigger conversation, because once you have the focus areas, what are you going to do comes under it. So there's a ton of information that's been generated from the group. We hope to get that work settled and done so that we have a plan to bring to the committee at some point in June. Outside of that, lots going on in our schools. Today I got to go to the high school. They did a lockdown drill and evacuation drill. They did both and separated it from the middle school. So that helps us to figure out some things like, okay, what happens if, and it showed us a hole in our communications, because the high school and middle school are one campus. In the PA system, you can communicate across the whole campus, but when you separate out one building from the other, you can do that with a code. Some parts of the building don't have an announcement being made, so that gives us an opportunity to tweak some things. We also learned today that due to the transition of Hamilton, near 911 to the Middleton Central, that took out our radio frequency for the Hamilton Police. Several of our principals have radios that they can just click to the Hamilton Police. Quick remedy, they all joined the Wenham frequency, so we have that as well. So principals now we just had to go through the process of making sure that everybody knew there's just one frequency for all of our radios to communicate when we need police and fire with this new change. So that'll help us moving forward to have just one radio channel instead of 4. We have 4 now, 1 for each police and fire in both communities. So it was a great opportunity to see. Worked out well. having the fields is nice because now you can spread groups out and get kids into appropriate, lines and locations so that you can do attendance and make sure everybody's where they need to be. So all the schools go through that, usually at the beginning of the year at least once, and then March, when it gets a little bit quieter, they go through either a lockdown or an evacuation, or the elementaries, they do location recognition, so Bucher, for example, will walk to the library or walk to the, whatever the building spot is for them to reunite, so the kids know where they go and how they get there. So it's just a good opportunity for us to get around and make those connections again. Other than that, the ELA MCAS is closing in on the end. We had a lot of makeups so far. There's a few more for the rest of the week, and then those will taper out, and we'll go on vacation next week and come back and be staring in the face at the math MCAS in mid-May. So that's about it for me, for now.
Thank you. Anybody have questions for Eric? All right, thank you. Our, next up is our student government representative, and she let us know that I think she has a game, actually.
Proctor, yep.
She's at a game, and so she will arrive if that ends in time, and we'll invite her in then, but if not, hope she's winning the game.
She was concerned that she might show up in her uniform.
That's
perfectly fine.
That would be
Gotta represent.
absolutely okay. That would be absolutely okay. So we will hold that open, that if Evie arrives, we will welcome her then. Does anyone have any items from the consent agenda that they'd like to have held?
No.
Julia?
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Second by Krista Noon. All those in favor? That is 5 in favor of the members present, and the motion passes. Okay.
Thank you to Friends of Winthrop and the Institution for Savings.
Yes,
great.
really nice. Always nice to see those lovely donations.
Great.
Next up is new business. I am going to actually turn this over to Amy, because I'm,
And Amy's going to turn it over to me.
oh,
Yep.
turning it over to Eric.
Yeah. As we all know, this is the final meeting for this group, and there are several members on the committee who are ending their terms, whether it be 3, 2, 1 year. There's various terms, and those will come to an end and be recentered in 2 days, Thursday, when we have our elections. But I wanted to take a moment to recognize the 3 members that have spent their time with us and worked with us this year and many other years, and just say thank you to each of you for your time, your dedication, and commitment to the district, kids, and the things that we do within the community. These are little cards that I'm going to need back by the end of the night. They're for a sweatshirt, a district, we want you to be in district swag. And then just let us know your size, and I will take it from there and get them back to you. So, Dana, Lara. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Megan Benson. And Kristen Noon.
Thank you.
Sat you guys all together.
As far apart as possible.
Yay.
I'm so excited for my sweatshirt.
Believe it or not, it'll be my first general swag.
There you go.
Awesome.
You're in.
And, yeah,
Had
exactly.
to serve a little while to get one.
All right, thank you, that's very sweet.
Thank you all.
All right, next up is right back to Eric, Superintendent Summative Evidence. I don't know if you want to say anything, or if you want me to just lead you in, but go ahead.
Okay. Back in February, I gave you the mid-year evidence summary for you to use in my evaluation. This is the final document. Just keep in mind, I'm still working. I still have 2.5 more months to finish out the year, so a lot of things on here might still say ongoing, or they might say that they're still in process. There are just a number of things, like the strategic plan is a great example. It'll continue through probably June. I did write about as much as we could with all of the work that we've done this year, and all of the issues that needed to be expanded upon from February are in here now. So you should have a fairly complete picture of the work I started doing, have been doing, and will continue to do for the district. And it's all the same, except for I just kind of continued writing in the reflection area, or updated what was ongoing and what might need it. So this document's for you to use as you evaluate me over the next weeks. And I'm certainly available at any time to answer questions. There's a lot here. There's 20-some pages of information, but certainly answer any questions if people need questions answered. Within here, there are lots of links. If you open a link and it's a copy, it's because there are live documents being used in the district, so I had to kind of manipulate them a little so that they weren't all being moved all around. So, but you should be able to see everything. You should be open, and everything should be open and available to you. And certainly anything I can do to answer questions, clarify something, please reach out.
Dana, can we review the deadlines?
I was just going to do that. It's like you read my mind. You should all have already received, and let me know if you didn't, some information about the superintendent evaluation.
Yeah.
Looking at
Yes,
the and please look at that and let me know if you have any process questions or any questions. But the deadline for individuals to submit is May 17th, and I believe that we agreed we were going to submit to Julia. And
What's my deadline?
Julia will provide it to Janelle by June 1st, so that we can have a review of the draft on June 4th, anticipating a vote on the 18th. I guess
Yes.
hypothetically could be on the 4th if no one had any edits on the draft. I guess that would be possible. So does anyone have any questions about that? I don't know if we want to, I don't know, I kind of have it in my chair's notes, but maybe I'll bring it up then, or it might fall into this too, is that I do want to get feedback from the group about whether we want any kind of a workshop. Maybe it's better to have a more complicated, it's a little bit tricky because Megan could still come to the workshop, I think. We don't know who all is going to be sitting in these chairs. We've, in the past, usually done a workshop just on the process for how to create the evaluation. So maybe I'll leave that to everyone to sort of determine whether we want to put that on the calendar. We have some other calendar questions. It's certainly something back several years ago, we used to have the MASC come in and teach us a workshop, and we did that for, I don't know, several years. And then the last couple of years, we've done it ourselves because we've got people that know how to do it, so.
I would also say, I mean, it's not violating open meeting law if you call me, or you call Dana or Amy and ask a process question.
Absolutely. Yep.
Dana and I did that, we've done that probably almost every year.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
so-
asking each other, okay, I'm trying to figure out how this fits into like
Right.
piece 2 of the,
Right,
you know,
which
whatever.
which focus, which
Yeah.
which focus item is this, or where do I find such and such a document, or that kind of thing. So anyway, maybe we'll just hold that and we can talk about it maybe during the chair report, or people can talk about it offline. But I just want to, I know I found that workshop to be helpful. I don't know whether you guys have dived in. It might be helpful to look at it first and then sort of see whether you think you might need a workshop or not, if you feel like it's self-explanatory. And I will say to the three of us, just like we talked about that you can only write about the time that you're actually on the committee. So we'll just leave it at that.
And that all individual evaluations are public, not just the summative one.
Correct, but the summative one is the one that we as collectively,
But anyone can look at.
you can look at them
any of our
after,
individual.
after, but you can't look at them ahead of time and share each other's. That's,
No.
right, afterwards,
But
later.
I just mean,
Yeah.
whatever you write in there,
Is public.
It's posted.
Correct. It's public information, right, with your name on it.
Okay.
Yes. So, correct. Thank you, Julia. All right. Anybody have any questions on that?
I'll ask later. It's
Yeah,
like super.
yes, please do.
Well, it's like,
No, it's actually, that's why I said we had a workshop, because there's a lot. Yeah.
well, so I guess because I'm assuming at some point my email account is going to be shut down. No.
I'll leave it open. We'll make
Okay.
sure to stay.
Until
Yeah,
you do this?
you've
Okay,
got-
okay,
right.
perfect, great.
Yep,
We'll
no,
make
that's a
sure
good
everybody
question.
stays open.
Solves
That's a
it.
good
Okay.
question, yeah.
No, and it's a question I already asked. Like,
Okay.
No, that's a good question. Yeah, because you'll still have work to do, so again, you won't have access to new things, but you would have access to all the things you need in order to write.
Okay. Perfect.
And I will say, in the past, that will be a decision that the committee can make afterwards, after, at the next upcoming meeting. But in the past, typically, members who had since left the committee would be invited to the meeting. They're not allowed to vote, but they'd be invited to contribute and ask questions and answer something if their document is being discussed. And obviously, that would be voluntary. People wouldn't, not that this isn't all voluntary.
This is also
All right. All right, anything else on that? Okay,
No.
thank you for the thorough evidence.
yes, there's a lot
Makes
there.
our job a lot easier.
Yes, and I will say,
Don't have to go
there are a lot of,
scrambling,
there are a
looking for
lot of links, a lot of links.
Hey,
in
I
there.
like the more the better. The more the better.
Anything you need help understanding, just let me know.
Yeah.
Happy to meet with anybody, talk to you on the phone, whatever.
Back to you, Eric, for our North Shore Education Consortium.
As you all
budget.
know, I am on the board of the North Shore Education Consortium, and as part of my duties, bring information back and forth between the board and the committee. The document that's on the exhibit is the budget we just approved for FY '27. So I wanted people to see that and just kind of hit a couple of highlights, because I think we've dealt with the same exact issues. 20 superintendents wrestled with the same exact issues that they're wrestling with in their own districts. This budget we'll end up cutting between 8 and 10 positions, just to kind of get our numbers down. Spending on different areas, non-contractual, administrative areas. We reduced several of the line items within their budget, and it still had increases of 9.4% overall. The difference is, this is a tuition-based program, so we can reflect that in tuition increases, and there are two levels of tuition. There's member and non-member, so we pay $5,000 a year to be a member of the North Shore Consortium, which gives us reduced rates for kids who need out-of-district placements, who could get out-of-district placements in one of their programs. So we have anywhere between 9 and 15 kids, depending on the time of the year in this program. But as part of my duties, I guess, on the board, my job is to bring this information back and to just give you an update of their budget and where they're at. This is a group that worked with us to reduce transportation costs for some of our districts by really grouping routes for out-of-district placements, so that was helpful. It saved our district about $130,000, $131,000, I think. And we're going to try to expand that for next year, and try to continue to work that out. There's also donations that they get annually to cover some of their expenses. They last year had a massive roof project, which turned into a roofing and an HVAC project. It was about a $14 million project that we approved 2 years ago. They are still trying to wrap that up, and when you look through their budget, you see kind of, they have money market accounts of $2 million, but that money's actually set aside so that they can pay those bills for those debts that are coming. The other big change is we just signed a contract to move the North Shore Recovery High School which was located in Beverly, on the Sawyer Road property where North Shore Consortium is, to the Cummings Building in Beverly, the Cummings Center, into that facility, because we get a better rental, we get a much bigger property, and we're going to try to expand it. It's been rebranded, renamed. It'll be the North Shore Phoenix High School, and really a different look at how to attract clientele for school districts. Right now, a lot of school districts have responded to kids who need addiction, drug, alcohol addiction help by in-house. We've been able to manage that more in-house than we ever have, so that kind of reduced the program, the North Shore Recovery High School program's headcount, which is a dent in the budget because it costs you tuition. So they've rebranded the program and recreated the program so that they can try to increase tuition, increase their headcount, and give more opportunities to some of the older kids that need these specialized programs. So lots of fun things and interesting things going on. This budget book is printed annually, and just one of the expectations is that we have it as an agenda item, but also talk about it because I'm a board member. So I just wanted to bring that forward and make everybody aware.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so next up is a town meeting recap. So, I don't know whether you want to speak to it or me.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak to it. It was interesting to have town meeting on 2 different days this year, not one day, all day. As we all know now, all of our 6 votes, budget under the levy, override, and debt exclusion all passed by their needed majority votes. Most impressed was the debt exclusion. Always makes you nervous on a debt exclusion because of the 2/3 requirement, but we had a great showing at the meetings. I think there were 427 at one count.
429, I think.
429, something at the Hamilton meeting, which was great. But it's good to see the numbers that people really understand and really support what we do. And I think that was the message that was sent at both town meetings, that people get it, they understand the budget difficulties, they understand that we're not inflating programs and adding things that we don't need. It's just really the same issue that every household is dealing with right now. The expenses just continue to climb. So I appreciate the support of the community members and the towns, and all the work that everybody did along the way to get these budgets to this point. But I think, we had a great showing for each of the town meetings, and look forward to the election on Thursday.
Yes, election
Yes.
Thursday.
All right, anybody have anything else to add about town meetings? Yep.
I just wanted to add that I think these types of things are always a team effort, and I also think that the students really,
Yes.
I think, participated as part of the team this go-around, and I was so proud of our students who spoke at both town meetings. They were so thoughtful, well-prepared, had great things to say. I'm glad that the moderators in both towns, made it possible for them to speak, and that was really wonderful to see, so.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Okay. Unless anybody has anything else, moving on. All right. So, Eric and I put this on here because even though, so I'll just be really upfront. So, we still have another vote. It's on Thursday, both, for the budget, and the roof are both on Thursday. I had a really good conversation with our representative from MARS, which is the Mass Association of Regional Schools. We belong to them as well as the MASC. I just, those of you that know me, I like to know what the possibilities are. So I am not saying that I feel this could happen. I mean, it's going to happen, but I wanted to know what happens if the school budget does not pass on the ballot. And one of the good things about that conversation was she said that the first thing you need to remember is that if that occurs, the first thing that you want to do immediately is contact Department of Education, contact DESE, and they will provide us with a representative to guide us as to what to do next. So I thought that was really helpful information. She was clearly had already talked to many people around the state about this question. She also made it clear that if the budget doesn't pass, we actually don't have an approved budget. The school committee has to have another conversation. So one of the things, and Eric and I actually discussed, that's why we have this agenda item, is that she sort of recommended, and we had already sort of thought about, you might want to, if it doesn't pass, you want to have a meeting about what to do. And so anyway, this is why Eric, we sort of put it out there about looking out to all of you, because the next meeting that we have scheduled currently is not until May 7th. And that's a big gap. And so I'm putting it out there, I'm asking, does the committee want to put a potential, if needed, meeting, and this is a proposed date, which is the 30th. Yes, please.
So, Tina and I talked this through, because go back to Vinnie's presentation about the timeline. You have 30 days from the time it fails. So, all of a sudden, your timeline gets really short, like 8 days or 10 days left, if you wait until that May 7th meeting. And the reality is you probably have some new members on the committee, and they have no acclimation to the budget itself to make a decision on what to do next, whether, I think he had gone through Vinnie went through all those decisions, like do nothing, trim it back some more, or accept under the levy budget. So those decisions would have to be made within 30 days, and then contact made to the towns to request a special town meeting.
Right.
So that was really.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to just be clear, and we sort of knew that, but the conversation with Mars reiterated that if this were to occur, and again, I'm not saying that it would, but that the committee has to take some action,
yeah.
Because the budget that was put forward was not the budget, if it were to fail, is not the budget that was approved. So some action
I
needs to be
think
taken.
putting a potential meeting is fine.
Like an if needed.
And if needed. I looked at it, and we talked about it as somewhat like we usually have that meeting in February, the if
Right,
needed
the
meeting.
budget,
That if the
Yeah.
school committee budget has an issue, we always have an extra emergency meeting just if
Totally makes
needed.
sense.
And just to clarify, just out of curiosity, so the 30 days is to present the new budget at town meeting, or just to make moves to go towards,
So
Make your decision.
it's up to make your decision,
for us to approve a budget within the 30 days?
right,
Yes, to approve a budget.
to approve a budget, right?
School committee too?
Right,
Okay.
and then there are all kinds of things that if that doesn't happen, and that's why you would have a DESI representative kind of
Right.
guiding you and helping you, and
Okay.
so, again, this is all just being overly prepared,
You were thinking April 30th?
correct, that's a Thursday, yep. Yep,
Just to make sure I'm clear, if the override fails at the ballot in either town on the 16th, it does not pass.
correct.
And we do also still technically have an approved levy limit budget.
Well, so the towns
The towns do, but we
We
don't.
have not put, that is one of the many things that could occur, is that the school committee could vote on that level
On a levy
of
limit.
budget.
And then does that need to go back to town meeting, or it does not, because the towns have approved that dollar
I
amount?
do not think that it does, but
Okay.
that's something we would be in consultation with,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, because we put a full budget, we put 41 million and some change forward. Any change to that, even though it was approved by the town, still has to come back, and you have to either accept it to say, we'll take the vote for under the levy only, or anything other than the total amount that you voted for on February 12th.
Yep.
Requires you to make a decision.
Okay,
Does it have to go back to another ballot vote, though?
Only if it requires an override. If it's the levy limit
Okay,
budget,
okay,
it
okay,
does
okay.
not.
Does not.
Got it, okay.
Right, that's a great question, I'm glad, right, because what's on the ballot is just the override, so yeah, that's a good question, yeah.
so in theory, if we put forth a lesser override amount,
It would,
go through 2 town meetings again, and then the ballot?
I think so.
Okay,
Again, it would depend on the number.
Okay.
Because if you dropped it to a certain point, Wenham might
Wouldn't.
not need an override. It depends on the number you.
right, because they already approved the 4th, so it would, so if you're less than the approved override amounts, you then could, in theory, just go to the ballot. I'm just trying to kind of play out the scenarios of the number of potential votes we would need to do again if there's a situation where, like, I think this is what Megan's saying too, it's just a ballot vote and not also 2 town meeting votes. That's what I'm trying to kind of parse out in my mind.
I think, like, this is why I was like, let's
Let's call Desi.
call them,
Yeah.
and, and like, that my vision would be that this is what would be happening on the 30th, is we would hopefully have
All these answers.
all these answers.
Got it.
Maybe we would even have a representative here explaining to us.
Okay.
You know, I can't promise that we would have a representative, but I mean, that would be my hope, is that we would have,
Phone.
yeah.
And so,
no.
oh, sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say, and so Vinny, I remember when you walked us through all the scenarios and what could happen, right, and that number, is that the number that gets us back to the levy limit? Like,
The levy limit is different for both communities.
okay. Okay, got it, different than, okay, yep.
Yeah, so if you had you had 1,079,000 in Hamilton and 438. If you dropped Hamilton in half, that will drop Wenham. If you drop it a little, like that 30, I think it's 38% or something, it drops down below the levy
In Wenham,
in Wenham.
but not.
But you still have an override in Hamilton.
Hamilton, yep. And then you
Yeah,
have-
so it
yeah.
depends on the number you choose. In kind of, you'd look at Hamilton as the bigger number to say, okay, how do we reduce that? And then that would subsequently,
Reduce Wenham.
Right, but I guess when you were walking us through the different scenarios of like what could happen, that was not assuming, like, where did that fall in these numbers?
I believe I gave both numbers to drop
Yeah.
to drop Wenham's. We would have to drop our budget about 1.2
Oh, yeah, it was for
million.
both, yeah, but that represents essentially what we would have to get to avoid,
To avoid Wenham's
Yes.
override. To avoid both, it was that 1.6.
yeah, yep, yes,
Yep.
yes,
Okay.
So we would have to bring ours down to 1.6
yep,
to avoid additional ballot vote.
correct.
If this one fails.
That's what, yes,
Yep.
okay, yep.
Okay. Anybody have anything else? Again, I sincerely hope that this is just, you know, me overthinking, and,
Precautionary.
yeah. But anyway, what do people think about, do we want to just, well, maybe, is there anyone, so, you want to make a motion?
I move that we put a school committee meeting on the calendar for April 30th.
Second.
Second by Krista Noon. Is there discussion? Does that,
Do we need to call it an if needed meeting? I know we usually put that on the schedule, just so people know that it might be canceled.
yeah, I think it certainly can be on the website as an if needed.
If needed.
So, I mean, I think it's pretty clear here. In other words, we'll know Thursday night whether it's needed or not. All right, is that date work?
I think that's the earliest we could reasonably do it, because I feel
It's
as though
school
if you're
vacation,
coming
right.
back from school vacation and have to pull, you need a few days probably to start prepping materials, I would assume, and then we could meet, you know.
The only thing I would urge is you only have 2 weeks after that, so you would almost be making that decision in that.
Yes.
In that
Yes.
meeting.
Right.
Yep.
Yep,
Because otherwise, we would need to coordinate a meeting next week, which may not be possible for now, because it's vacation.
Yeah, I
so,
think that's, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so we're all understanding that the motion is to have an if-needed meeting on April 30th? All right, all those in favor? That is unanimous of the 5 members present, and the motion passes. Okay, I'm gonna add that.
Good idea.
Yeah, just add that so that, you know, just,
And I'll send it out to everybody.
yeah. And also, so it's on your calendar, and then you're hopefully surprisingly free on that date. Okay. So I don't know. I was going to say, is this, did we think we covered this?
Let's skip it, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this was kind of all one and the same, the budget discussion. Okay, committee reports, capital finance.
I don't know when our next meeting is. We had a tentative meeting on Monday, but we canceled. I don't even know what day it is.
It was Monday.
Tuesday.
We canceled it because we didn't need it.
Okay,
And
I
when
believe
is
the
it?
next one is the first week in May.
It is.
First week in
yeah.
May, yeah, okay.
okay. Policy,
We have a meeting scheduled for April 27th, but I don't know if we have agenda items needed on there. So I will confirm with you and Janelle when it gets a little
Sure.
closer.
okay. Negotiations, we met today, continuing negotiations with the ESP union, and we did put 3 more meetings on the calendar so that we will hopefully be able to keep moving forward. And, okay, that's that. Do we have a secretary report?
I don't know if any committees have missing minutes.
I'm realizing we didn't do it.
We have 3.
Okay.
We just didn't do it just now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, I believe that otherwise we're up to date.
Okay.
Policy is missing some outside of my tenure on that subcommittee.
Old ones.
They're old, so
Yeah.
I'm sure you've already seen them
Yes.
missing on the list, but
Yes.
yeah.
And I will say, negotiations has the minutes. We just didn't approve them today. My fault. No. Okay. Thank you for that. Amy, do you have anything in our inboxes?
A couple things. We had some emails discussing or asking about the confirmation of the last day of school, so we got that information out. An email, some technology-related emails, one from our state rep about the cell phone / social media legislature, and about technology in the classroom, which has been on my mind lately too, so interesting.
Thank you. Yeah, that is interesting. A little mix of everything there. Okay. So I think I already talked about a couple things that I was going to talk about in the chair report. I feel like this is a funny week because when I was very exciting at town meeting to see both of the things pass, and we still have Thursday coming up. So I do want to encourage all voters to participate in voting on the election on Thursday, which, just so that everyone knows, is from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Wenham Town Hall and at the Rec Center at Hamilton. And I don't know. I don't have a wrap-up. I don't have a wrap-up. I think I'm going to leave it there.
And our next meeting after April 30th,
yes.
we'll have new members.
We will have new members.
Members, a mix.
We will have some new members.
30th, yeah.
We will have new members regardless. Yes, we will have a new composition of the school committee. I don't think I actually have anything else. I'm sorry, that was not,
Can I steal a little of yours then?
absolutely.
I forgot one thing.
Yeah.
History Day, 2026 Mass
Oh,
State
nice.
History Day. On April 11th, there was the competition was against 75 other Massachusetts schools. Largest state competition in Massachusetts so far, since I think early 1980s. Two of our projects are going to the National History Day contest.
Cool, wow.
Maryland. So this is very cool. Advancing to the national contest, senior group exhibit. Viola Fazio and Sam Leneker, they are doing the Tylenol murders, the 1982 Tylenol murders, which is a pretty interesting
documentary
exhibit
of
if you haven't seen it. And then senior group website, Irene Jing and Lydia Wang. Their projects 1, 2, 3, China's reaction to the revolutionary one-child policy transforms the state forever. So those two groups are going to the nationals at the University of Maryland. We do have a couple of state finalists as well. Senior group website, Helen Lee, Juniper Mackey, and Caledonia Melican. Their website project was Students to Soldiers, the Origins and Impact of Red August. And then one other senior group exhibit, which was a state finalist, senior group exhibit, Elia Leneker and Nikita Pillai did the SS Havana, A Journey Through Revolution, Reaction, and Reform. So, very cool, always interesting to see the projects that kids choose. The two national contest advancing groups will go on, I think it's June 14th through 18th. They'll be in Baltimore, Maryland, so wish them luck, bring home the prize.
I will just say, I mean, I did not actually go this year, but if you ever get the chance to go to our history fair here at the high school,
It's amazing.
it's amazing. Our kids are amazing, and it is truly, and I don't know, one year, I don't know how that happened, but one year they invited school committee members to be judges.
Yeah, I
It
remember
was
that. It was really cool.
fantastic. It was so cool. So that is, and congratulations to all of them. They really do an amazing job.
Sorry, I stole some of your time.
No, that's okay.
Forgot about
I
it.
was, so, I was gonna pull up my spreadsheet, but somehow I'm signed out and it won't sign me back in. That's okay. I have it written down. I think my last thing is, so, my dream as the chair is to try to have meetings that are not as long. All right. So, who wants to take a guess on our average meeting time this year?
2 hours.
2.5.
90. 95.
95 minutes? Okay.
I think we're more like 180, probably.
Are we counting this
170.
meeting?
I did not count this meeting, mostly because I'm signed out, I can't plug it in
Right,
anyway. All right, I want Vinny to guess. Vinny, last time I thought he was convinced he had his own spreadsheet, because he had
I
it.
haven't this year.
Vinny, was that last year? Vinny had it to the minute. Like, huh?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
No, it's not that.
No. All right, 131 minutes, 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Okay.
So my dream was to be under 2 hours, but,
This meeting will get us there.
we add tonight, and I've
will get
I've
us
already
there.
tried my password a couple times. I'm afraid it's going to kick me out, so I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try to log in again right
Does that
now.
mean that I won, by the way?
You did. Nice work.
Okay, I move that we adjourn this meeting at 7:49 PM.
Second.
Second by Christian Noon. All those in favor? And we are adjourned. It's unanimous of the 5 members present.
Throw off my win.
Awesome.